going to be talking about social desperation in a fickle society. I hope desperation doesn't come from his personal experiences. So let's leave it up for him to speak and take the stage. Come on.
As I was thinking about what to talk about today, I know this is a social media conference. I know everybody out here is here to talk about and listen to what is social media, how does it work so well, why should they be on social media, and basically learn about what can it get for them. What I want to do in the talk today is actually take a slightly different route. I don't want to talk about what does social media get for you. Of course, I will talk about what are the benefits and all that. But what I want to talk about is what are the things that you need to ensure you don't do when you go on social. Okay? If you will look at the topic, it's social desperation in a fickle society. Now, before I go forward, let me ask everybody. Can anybody tell me what do I mean by social desperation, or what is social desperation?
Desperation to share each and everything with the network. What's that?
Okay, desperation to share each and everything with the network. Go ahead, please.
Desperation.
I promise. One part of social desperation is I will pay you guys some gift if you ask good questions. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Trying to. I got my.
You can just holler.
Okay. I got my third question, by the way.
Okay.
The social desperation means how to find your way in this society that's being formed online. How to make your place.
Sure.
Social desperation is, I overheard a girl say, he deleted me from Facebook.
That's personal desperation. That's not social
Social desperation. The whole world knows that he has dumped me.
Watching your comments, comments coming or not. Sure.
So desperation is all about eager to know about.
Okay.
Eager to know.
Sure, perfect. Now let me change. Now let me ask, what do you mean by a fickle society? Why would I put in a fickle society?
Because brands are paying people to talk about them online.
Okay, but what makes society fickle? What is a fickle society?
It's the fickle-mindedness of the person.
Susceptible to change, not stable.
Susceptible to change, lack of loyalty, not stable. Okay.
Constantly looking for the next changing.
Constantly looking for the next new thing. Okay, fair enough. So with that, let me get into my presentation, and I promise I will define both the terms for you. So let's first think about 2000 year, the year that was. Do you guys know the third picture in the middle?
Vidya Balan.
Who said Vidya Balan? Okay, anybody else? Come on guys, it's 2011. You got Ravan, you got the World Cup, you got Sunny Leon, you got Baba Ramdev, you got Anna Hazare, you got Herford Zaruri, you got Kapil Gupta, and of course you got the Kolaveri. Now, do you know what is common in all of these?
Virality.
Virality. Well, no, it's slightly more than virality. What is common in all of these is they got famous. Whether they got famous because of their virality or whether they got famous because of some other attribute associated with them. But these are all things that got famous in 2011. What we will do is we will talk about some of these things in slight more detail and kind of see what it means. Kolaveri. 33 million views on YouTube in 56 days. How many of you like the Kolaveri song?
Each and every word.
Everybody. How many of you think it is God's gift to earth? Nobody? 33 million views in 56 days. You guys don't think it's God's gift to earth? Is there any song in the history that has gotten more views than this particular one? No. There is actually no song in the history that has gotten these many views in this much amount of time. It became the single of the year on BBC radio. TV roadblock. MTV was roadblocked a whole Saturday to premiere this song. A whole Saturday. MTV has never done it. And for a Tamil song, I mean, never gonna happen. Well, I call it a Tamil song even though there is no Tamil lyric in it. But okay. Facebook profile pic of the year. Anna Hazare. How many of you guys participated in the Anna Hazare campaign? So few. How did they get 6 million? That's it? Okay. I had somebody in my office come up to me one day and say, I need a holiday tomorrow. I said, for what? I need to go to the Ramlila ground because the Anna Hazare campaign is going on. And I said, okay, that's very interesting. You are up for a cause. We do a lot of non-profit work. You should go. Please tell me what is Anna Hazare campaign. And the answer was, it's a campaign about some anti-corruption something, My father told me I should go. See, that's virality. That is really looking out for what is it that people are wanting to talk about. Is there any reason, by the way, for Anna Hazare to be so popular?
Yes. His cause.
His cause. Really? Baba Ramdev had the same cause. There are 100 people in India who on a daily basis have the same cause.
The context of his...
He went to jail, he was ready to go to jail, he didn't run away like Ramdev.
Okay?
So frustration, besides frustration with corruption, his personal brand, his credibility, the team's credibility was...
Actually, I was talking to marketing head of a large organization, and I was asking her to do a campaign similar to this, and the response I got was, Anna Hazare campaign happened once, it will not happen again. The reason is it was an opportunity for everybody in India to take their frustration out. Frustration on their wives, frustration on the traffic, frustration on corruption, frustration on their life, frustration on their jobs, frustration on everything around them out. They have taken it out. Now for that frustration level to build up again will take a long time. But anyway, that's again a topic for a different day. 3 lakh plus likes on Facebook, 200,000 followers on Twitter. All this in a span of 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I mean, I don't think anybody could have imagined a growth faster than this. I mean, this is as fast as Sachin Tendulkar grew on Twitter. How many of you have seen the Har Friend Zaruri campaign? Everybody has? How many of you like the campaign? How many of you dislike the campaign?
Hello.
Just 1%. Okay, so we have 1% who dislikes, 30% people who like, the remaining 70% don't have an opinion. Why is it so big? Any reason? Do you know what was the last most famous Airtel campaign before this?
A.R. Rahman song. The ringtone.
Okay. Anything else?
The rebranding of Airtel logo.
Which, okay, we will, okay, that's a good topic, but please hold on to that thought for a few seconds, we'll get to the rebranding.
It was barriers break when people talk.
Yeah.
Okay, barriers break when people talk. If you will actually go talk to Airtel, Airtel would tell you, and do you know, by the way, Har Friend Zaruri recently launched merchandise? How many of you guys have seen that? Nobody. They told me they spent so much money on this thing, advertising it. Nobody has seen it. Okay. So Airtel Har Friend Zaruri is right now also selling merchandise, starting with t-shirts, and then they have plans to make it much bigger than that. Okay. Now, if you go to Airtel and if you ask them, they will tell you before Har Friend Zaruri, there has never been any Airtel campaign that has been famous. Any. Har Friend Zaruri was not expected to be famous, it was expected to be just another campaign that comes out of the Airtel suite of products because they have marketing money. So much so that this t-shirt launch is not what was planned, it's an afterthought. Okay? The entire promotion around Har Friend Zaruri that you see, it's an afterthought. You can actually see it in the way that campaign has built up. What came out was a tune, a song, a nice idea called Har Friend Zaruri, and then suddenly it went viral, people started picking it up, and then it went big and big and big and big and big. The campaign budget for Har Friend Zaruri was, when it started off, was one of the lowest sized campaigns that Airtel had ever done in their life. Okay, rebranding. Airtel spent 300 crores in its rebranding last year. 300 crores to do this. Do you know what it did get them? Do you you guys know the social impact of this rebranding? Anyone? I'll show you guys an image. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. This is Airtel rebranding. Take the Vodafone logo, tilt it a little bit, take the Vodafone logo, put that into Airtel, that one logo, and you got it. That is Airtel rebranding, a campaign where Airtel spent 300 crore. And I can tell you, it got them more negative publicity online than it got them positive publicity. So, now let me ask the question again. What do I mean by a fickle society? A fickle society is a society where the norms, the traditional norms of marketing have been completely broken, completely decomposed, and nobody knows what's gonna happen. Can you guys, so let me tell you advertising 20 years back. I'm too young for that, but this is what I have read and heard in books from senior players. Anyway, so marketing 20 years back used to be, I wanna launch Navratan Tel, get Amitabh Bachchan as the brand ambassador, put X amount of money in TV advertisements, you will definitely get Y. Can it get you 2 times Y? Yeah, maybe it can. Can it get you 10 times Y? Absolutely not. Can it get you 0.8 times Y? Yes, it can. Can it get you 0.1 times Y? Absolutely not. So the norms of marketing used to be, you identify the campaign you want to do, you identify the budget you want to put in, you put in the right metrics, develop a media plan, look out what all you will do, and boom. The results in marketing used to be almost, I wouldn't say fully guaranteed, but they used to be almost guaranteed. You knew you will do this campaign and you will get something. That's not true anymore. We live in a fickle society. What would the customer like? When would they like? Why would they like? Cannot be defined. Do you guys know why it can't be defined?
Will changes.
Actually, no, that's not fickle society. That's where the fickleness comes from. Why is it that norms can't be defined?
Sir, due to the change in traditions and the taste of the customers and their desire.
Actually, not really.
Information overload.
It's information overload, but what do you mean by information overload?
There's maybe too many choices and just...
Okay. How many of you guys bought a television set 10 years back? How did you select the television set?
There were a couple. There were a couple of brands that you chose from.
There were 10 television advertisements that used to run. There were 3 electronic stores around your house, and you had to choose from those 10 television sets. What happens now is not just, it's not a question of the number of products that are available. The problem that we get into, which makes the society fickle, is the number of people who become influencers in your decision. The blogs that you follow, the YouTube videos that you watch, the Facebook pages that you see, the Twitter people that you look at, it's the search that you do on Google, it's the reviews that you read, it's talking to your friends, it's talking to everyone. What it essentially means is there are some things that gets picked up. How many of you guys have read Tipping Point? Okay, it's Malcolm Gladwell happening all over, getting reinvented all over. Okay, what has happened is we live in a society where that tipping point for a product, for a company, for a brand, for a service, for an individual can happen like this. Collaborativity, 10 people watched it, they liked it, they shared it, 100 people watched it, they liked it, they shared it, 1,000, 10,000, millions, 10 million, 30 million. Happened in no time. Okay, I can tell you, I can promise you all, the first time you heard Collaborativity, you knew it was a normal song. The only reason I like Collaborativity, by the way, the only reason I like Collaborativity is because why is it so famous? I can't have such a poor taste that I don't like a song that has been watched by 33 million people. I just can't. So people have to like it. By the way, I'm not suggesting by any means that it is a very poor song. I'm not a Javed Akhtar saying it's an insult to my sensibilities. I'm just saying the song has nothing that would have made it so famous. It would have made it famous. It would have been one of the better songs. Okay? It probably would have done what a Chamak Chalo did, or maybe slightly less than that. Okay? But it can't be a Collaborativity. We live in a fickle society. Now, what does it mean? What does it do for us? For marketeers, what it has done is it has put us into this really tight spot of always looking to rediscover the next Kolaveri. Can I go to any of my customers and tell them your campaign will not be as famous as Kolaveri? Can I actually deliver a Kolaveri? No. Can I make every campaign that I do a Kolaveri? I can't. So as a marketeer, the rules of the game have changed. What that has further done for us is, so this is what the brands are looking for from every campaign they do. It should not get me any negative publicity. People should never be talking bad about me. People should never be seeing anything bad. So I have brands who will tell me, my taste is exquisite. So I need something which is totally premium. But oh, by the way, it needs to be viral.
It needs to be
viral.
Viral.
It needs to be something everybody likes. But oh, no puns allowed. It can't be very humorous. It can't be insult to anybody's sensibilities. It can't be too emotional because it doesn't go well with my brand. Heck, that's virality, right? So the problem is brands are continuously looking for this and nobody can deliver it. And then here comes. The result of all of this is we marketeers have become socially desperate. Okay? We are always down on our knees pleading. What exactly are we pleading for?
Likes.
Engagement के लिए कुछ भी करेगा. That's the theme of the game. Anybody in marketing who says that's not what they do? Well, engagement के लिए कुछ भी करेगा. Singing, dancing, providing freebies, doing contests, doing whatever. Please join my community. I'm fun. I ensure you will have fun. Talk to me, please. This is an interesting status. Of course, for privacy purposes, we hid out the person who had put the status. My status deserves a standing ovation. But lazy people out there here, just click like button. Then there are lazier people also. Do you know the best part of it? Do you know the best part of it?
No one likes it.
It got 1 like. Okay, here is another interesting one. So this one I took from, again, we won't disclose any names on who put this. This one I took from somebody, a company that is in marketing industry. They had put in something about a LinkedIn post. Okay, they put in a post which was talking about something on LinkedIn. It's a 20,000 people community. 20,000 people community. The community had, the post had 8 likes. What do you think the admin putting the post should have done? If you guys were there, what would you do? I would hide my tail under my legs and just sit and expect nobody to have noticed it. You know what they did? Thank you for liking our post. Did you find it useful? Thank you for liking the post. Did you find it useful? Well, we found it so useful we couldn't comment on it. We were speechless. I pay you if you do. So like me, please. Please like me. Please talk to me. I'll even pay you. And this is what brands are doing.
Doesn't sound right though.
But this is what the brands are doing. Contests, awards, freebies, goodies. I mean, that seems to be the name of the game in social. Now, okay, so I told you guys what not to do. Now the problem in all of this is, so what do I actually do in social? What is it? What would work? Engagement that relates to the brand. This is a campaign that I really love. Okay, really love. We work with Yatra for their social media, and we were exploring last year on how to make Yatra associate with cricket. The first time it came, we said, why will you want to associate a travel brand with cricket? It doesn't associate well. There is no relevance. How many of you guys think yatra or travel is relatable to cricket? 4 people? Okay, 7 people, 10 people. Tell me one thing. What do cricketers do the most? Other than playing cricket?
Travel and movies.
They travel. They travel. What better brand? I mean, does Nokia relate to cricket, by the way? It doesn't. It's just that Nokia has enough money. Nokia can put in a 50 crore rupee budget. In fact, I was talking to a travel company recently and the marketing head told me, I won't do anything in cricket because to make any cricket campaign successful, I need at least a 10 crore rupee budget, which only a Vodafone or a Airtel or a Nokia can put in. I can't. Or a Coke. I can't. But does Nokia relate to cricket? Absolutely not. But they will still do a campaign around cricket. Here, what we said was, let's make a game called as Yatra Cricket Manager. What the cricket manager did is, you are the manager of the Indian cricket team and you are responsible for taking it from Bangalore, where they were training, to Dhaka, where the first match was, back to Bangalore, where the second match was, back to Eden Gardens, where the third match was. Of course, the match got cancelled and they had to stay more in Bangalore. Back to some other location, some other location, some other location. Well, Indian team gave us full support and they went all the way to the finals and made it successful. But the fact is, the brand had an association. The engagement was not irrelevant to the brand. If I was doing this campaign for a television channel or a media company or somebody else, it wouldn't be successful. I think we all saw this one in the morning. Okay, again something we really love. We had to promote James Bond Festival on HBO, and what we said was, hey, how about doing a campaign, or how about doing an application which is called as Create Your Bond Girl. You go in, you select her hair, you select her face, you select her shoes, you select her style quotient. Well, style quotient can be, she can hold a martini, she can hold a cigarette, she can hold a gun. I mean, it's a Bond girl. Why wouldn't somebody relate to it? So essentially, engagement that goes. And interesting thing was, when we did this application, we had no contest. I mean, no contest. There was a different contest running. Is it the kind of place that I am in? What do I need to think of? Well, the real answer is, you just need to know whether you can, as a brand, be authentic. If you know you are gonna go far, if you know you will not provide right information to your client, if you know you have things to hide, please don't go on social. So the eternal phrase, people with secrets don't live in glass houses. Social media is a glass house. If you are clear you have secrets, don't go. Know before you respond. And I can't tell you how many times people make this mistake. Social media marketeers out here, how many times are you told that if a query from a customer comes in, you have to respond to it in 2 minutes if possible, maximum 2 hours? Okay, just one person? Everybody else gets forever to respond? 24 hours. Okay, 24 hours. But you are given a time limit. You have to respond back in this amount of time. Is there any customer that you have ever seen who has said, respond back whenever? Okay, now let me ask you a question. You get a query. You don't know the answer to the query. It's a sensitive issue. You don't know what to say. What would you do? It is such a sensitive issue that you wish you were not even looking at it. What would you do? Will you respond to it? No? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Somebody comes up with something which is really, something which needs a legal opinion, something which requires a customer support. One of the problems that you will see in social, if you will look across the industry, is a marketing guy. Let's assume a company which has given the responsibility of social media to a marketing professional. A marketing guy would sit in for implementing social, but he will be doing the job of a marketing guy, a tech support guy, a customer support guy, a sales support guy, and all of the other things. That is where it becomes problematic. That is where it loses its sting.
Friends referral.
When we talked about the Fickle society, this is really important. We all make our purchases based on recommendations of our friends. I don't care who comes up in social media and tells you, you listen to the bloggers in the tech space and you listen to this person or you listen to that person. End of the day, one of the major, and I'm not saying you guys don't read blogs, I'm not saying you don't read reviews, I'm not saying you don't take opinions from them, but you always go back and you talk to your friends. You always go back and take opinion from them. You always go back and influence your decision based on what they had to say about a product or a service. Becomes very important because as you are looking at formulating your social media campaign, you need to ensure you tie the entire customer base around that. And last but definitely not the least, keep your fingers crossed, guys. As a marketeer, you are not gonna deliver all successful campaigns. Shah Rukh Khan doesn't deliver all hits. Well, maybe he does. Let's take a different example. Amitabh Bachchan doesn't deliver all hits. There are movies that he does which are big hits. There are movies that he does which are big flops. Does he go to the producer before signing up the movie and say, hey, I'm doing this movie, but I can tell you it will be a flop? Right? What's different about it? Anybody who does a television advertisement goes through the same. Anybody who does anything